Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, am I really living the life I was meant to? Welcome to Female Fluence, where we stop waiting for permission and start remembering our power. I am Pearl Mashur, a mom, educator, and a women's empowerment coach, and this is a space for honest conversations about growth, purpose, and becoming who you truly are. Here, we wake up to ourselves. We release the guilt, reclaim our confidence, and rise with grace, truth, and a little bit of fire. If something in you is whispering, there's more, take the self-reflection quiz at femalefluence.com and see where you are in your journey. Because you're not here to play small, you're here to rise fully. When you believe life happens to you, you give away your power and stay stuck in survival mode. But when you shift that belief to life happening for you, everything changes. This simple change in perspective from victim to creator, from surviving to thriving, unlocks your strength, healing, and growth. Life doesn't become easier or pain-free, but resilience, the ability to adapt, bounce back, and keep going in the face of hardship becomes your foundation. You may not be able to change the past, but you always have the power to choose how you respond. When you ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can I grow through this? You step into transformation. You don't have to carry the label of I survived. Instead, you can embrace the identity of I thrive. Today's conversation is about that journey, how to move from surviving to thriving, and how you can live that transformation in your own life. My guest today is Dr. Patricia Smith, a true example of resilience and triumph. Abandoned by her parents at a tender age, Patricia was raised in one of Jamaica's child care facilities. Her childhood was marked by running away, living on the streets, and seeking shelter wherever she could. Despite everything, everyone upon her, Patricia refused to give up on herself. She not only climbed the academic ladder, but rose to become the CEO of Sweet Pea Home Care Incorporated, a nursing home facility in the United States. Patricia, thank you so much for being on Female Fluence. Welcome to my show.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So let's take us back to Jamaica. What was your childhood like? Can you paint a picture of the town you grew up and some of the adversity that you faced?
So I grew up in a small town. It's called Spanish Town. And I heard that it got its name from earlier settlers who were from Spain. That town, almost everybody knew each other because the town is so small. So as a young girl, I went to neighborhood schools, had a few friends. But during that time, I didn't have much family because my mother went off to the UK in search of a better life and actually left me with no life. So I had to make a life of my own. Going to school was my passion. I just developed a passion for education, and that is my biggest saving grace. Trying to, develop myself educationally, getting experience with other students around, getting exposure from just being in school. And that was my big saving grace, getting an education.
That's wonderful. So education saved you. Now, did you have any siblings, Patricia?
Yes, I had siblings, but we were not in touch because at that time my mom left me. There were just two girls, myself and my older sister, who is like 3 years older than me. And in her quest to go away, she left my sister in one place and left me in another place. So we didn't grow, we didn't have a relationship.
How old were you when this happened?
This happened It was somewhere in infancy when she left. I'm told 8 months, 9 months.
Wow.
So I'm not really sure. All I know is when during childhood, she was never around. And I heard different stories about the age, not sure.
So who was raising you? Were you with other relatives or your father or
So father is another story. She left me with a woman, and that woman who I heard is my father's sister. She couldn't really care for me. So she took me to another place. This woman took me to my aunt, which is my mother's aunt. She would have been my great aunt. And that woman was not prepared to have a child. You can't just bring a child and just thrust the child on someone who's not
yeah.
prepared to have a child. And so during that entire time I was with that woman, she mistreated me because she was not prepared for a child. And, there was no money coming in, and, poverty is rampant. And she just mistreated me all the way.
I'm so sorry. Did your mom ever come back? Did you ever have a relationship or did you ever meet her?
That woman came back in my in adulthood. Maybe I was 26, somewhere thereabout, when she finally appeared.
Wow. Okay.
But during childhood, a lot of people would say, "Oh, we see your mom, she's in England. She's around," because we thought she was dead because there was no communication at one point. Just everything just went blank.
Wow. Yes, so you have been through a lot, but look where you are now. You are the ultimate success story. So then from there, you experience homelessness to becoming a CEO of a multi-million-dollar home healthcare. What did that transformation look like?
All right. So the homelessness started because it wasn't a happy home. The woman who was raising me, she would
Mhm.
always kick me out. There were two girls in the home at the time, and she favored her grandchild, who's supposed to be my cousin. She favored that child because there was support coming in the home for that
Oh,
child. So either she would kick me out or I would just leave because there was no food and it was not happy. And I would get a lot of beatings because the woman just didn't want me around. So I just took to the streets, or she would kick me out. I didn't know my danger. I was just roaming the streets, sleep in churches, in the marketplace, or in a bar that would open late, or anywhere I could just stay and be incognito.
right.
And that's how it went for a long
Were
time.
you a teenager at this point?
No, I wasn't a teenager yet. I was in elementary school.
My
And,
goodness.
people ask, how did you even bathe or eat? I said, surviving was my main my main point. Bathe, I wasn't even thinking about how to take a bath. All I knew was going to school after a hard night was a place of solace and a place where I had friends and I could shine because I was doing well academically and I could forget about the bad home life.
Good for
So
you. So you never skipped down your school. That was your safe place. You
that
continued.
was my safe place. That was my place of solace, comfort, because they were children my age and I would compete to be the top
Yeah.
2 or 3 persons. In those days, they used to rank us like that. Who came first, second, or third in the
Right,
class?
right, right. That's incredible. I'm so glad you actually had that safe place for education. I think that's so important that you found some place instead of turning into the wrong, because some people go find the wrong friends, they find the wrong group, they become part of a gang. So that was really good. So what was the turning point when you knew things had to change for you or they could change? Like where did you get hope things are going to change for you? When was that transformation for you?
You know? Later on in my doctoral program, I learned the word SISU. Not sure if you're familiar with it. It pronounced Sisu.
Yeah, okay.
Sisu is this hidden strength that each of us have. It is an untapped strength that you didn't even know you have until you're faced with adversity, suffering, or frustration. And then this extraordinary strength comes alive. And that's what I believe I had without even knowing the word at such a tender age. I was exhibiting characteristics of Sisu.
Wow. So SISU is like an internal superpower that we
Yes,
have for resilience and strength through really, really severe adversity that just comes out, right? And then we don't even know we have it until it happens for us.
yes, then we're faced with adversity, suffering, frustration. It comes alive and it even surprises you.
I love that. I love that. Sisu. Okay. So, how did you go from surviving day to building a vision for something that you have going on that's so impactful? Because that's like having a lot of hope and being able to like visualize, see the light at the end of the tunnel that, okay, I'm barely surviving. Somehow I'm going. So I guess tell us the next point. So this isn't, and you're joining us today from Jamaica, but this story started from Jamaica, and then at a certain point you moved to the United States, correct? With your father or?
No, I moved to the United States. I came out as a visitor because one of my father's girlfriend really liked me because I was so domesticated. I would wash, cook, clean, iron. My domestic skills are second to none. So she really liked having me around. And I remember when she was moving or my siblings that she had for him, she said, "What are you going to do with this girl? Are you going to just leave her here to suffer and just go to waste?" And so she advocated for me, and I left Jamaica when I was 18 years old and migrated to the United States. Once I get to the United States, again, I just wanted to go to school. Went back to school, got my GED, and after that, I was just homeless again, moving around in Hempstead, New York, and saw a big sign in a window that they were helping young people, young adults. If you were under 21, there was a program called Neighborhood Youth Corp,
Okay.
and a counselor, and they would help you choose a career path. So I went inside, and that was a saving grace. I got a woman who counseled me and put me in a nursing program, entry level nursing.
Okay.
And I began to build on that, build from being just an aide to a licensed practical nurse till I became an RN with a master's, and then I moved right into my doctorate. And the real reason I did all of that was it helped me feel better about myself. It empowered me. Yes, I can do this. I can do something constructive with my life.
I love this, Patricia. This is exactly what this show is about, is it's empowerment, and you're a prime example of this. I mean, homelessness, no support from a very young age, but you chose education as your pathway and you just knew. And it's not like you got just one degree or one certification. You kept going. The more you learned, the more empowered you felt, the stronger you felt.
Yes.
And that Sisu was out there just, taking over. So, I mean, that's an inspiring story. So, would you say through your sheer determination, you've overcome horrific circumstances that many would not have survived, right? Or they would have made really wrong choices. What would you say to women who've walked similar paths, who feel defined by their trauma and their horrible circumstances? What would you tell them?
I would say unfortunately, trauma does not have an expiration date. So you got to keep going. You have to keep pushing. Find that inner strength. Prove all these people wrong who think you couldn't do it or you'll never become anybody. I was told that so many times. You will never become anything. You see your own parents abandon you. You've got to push. Find something that you're passionate about. We all have things that we're passionate about. It could just be being a florist, and you learn about all these plants and how to make them survive. And before you know it, you could have your own flower shop
Yeah,
that you do. Find a passion, find something that you really like and give it your all. Put your energy into it, and you'll see the manifestation. Good manifestation. That's what I would say to anyone who are experiencing, suffering, frustration. Find a passion, whatever it is you like, and build on it. Be your best.
I love that. It's all that passion that leads us to our purpose. And then with that, we get that superpower to keep working hard because the more harder we work, the happier we feel and the more fulfilled we feel. So it's just like a boomerang effect. It's very, very true. Now, you wrote a book called I Persist, right? And what inspired you to write it, and what are the key messages you hope will open the hearts and minds of the people who read it, the readers?
You know, I can't say it was my original idea. I always have to credit my board chairman, Hector Ricketts, who inspired me because when he came into my life in the mid-90s and he saw me moving and shaking and doing everything by myself, he's like, where did you come from? Who is your family? Where are your friends? And he saw me doing all of this and say, you've got to document this. And it is one of the best things I've ever done because many people did not know that I was homeless. I was an orphan living in state care, government facility. And I wrote the book because of that very reason we're talking today. I want to inspire and encourage women who feel downtrodden, like nothing will ever happen for you. And my message is look at me. Look at me now. I came from dirt, the dirt. And today I am a multimillionaire. I have my own company. I don't want or need anything.
Wow. That is really neat. I mean, I hope that our listeners that are listening to this, I mean, feel the power within them that I'm feeling now. You're just feeling really inspired and excited. What lessons from your time being homeless have shaped how you lead today?
What lessons? Well, I learned to do a lot with a little,
Okay.
very little. And I'm very humble and I don't need a lot to be happy. Having good health in my mind, in my body, and my spirit is most important to me. A woman who can afford almost anything she wants does not buy all these things. And that came from the being learning how to survive with
Yes.
little or nothing.
So you live in Jamaica right now, and do you live a very, would you say, a simple life, just in gratitude? You don't need too much still, or do you go and splurge and do special things for yourself, or it just depends?
No, I live in two places. I live in Jamaica as well as the US. During the winter months, I'm here in Jamaica to escape the cold. And I go back and forth. I don't really have a schedule.
That's
But
perfect.
wherever I am, though, I make myself comfortable. I'm okay wherever in my little environment, however humble. It's just one room that I'm occupying here in a hotel that I own this hotel, and I'm still comfortable because that street lesson taught me to be comfortable. Wherever you are, you make the best of it. And my main focus, and when I pray, I continue to ask the Lord to protect my health in mind, in body, and in spirit.
That's exactly that. Those are the things that we all need. And if we can realize and tap into it,
That's the only thing that is important to me.
that is exactly, yes,
Health.
I completely agree with you. Now, you've said that persistence, resilience, and hope aren't just words, they're actually tools to transform your life. Can you elaborate what that means to you?
Persistence. Whatever you're doing, you can't haphazardly do it. You have to be consistent. So when your persistence is very similar to consistency, you got to keep doing it. It's the only way you're going to see the results. For argument's sake, if you want to lose weight, you can't exercise just one day.
Right.
You got to keep at it until you get the desired result, the results you want. And resilience, I'm second to none when it comes to resilience. I have to be tough. If it is to be, it is entirely up to me. That is how I view it. And you never know how strong you are or how tough you are until being strong is your only choice.
Right.
That's all you've got left.
Yep.
So you got to be strong and keep pushing.
I think those are really good tools for us to carry with us on a regular basis, kind of like have a survival toolbox in our head, right? Do you believe that everyone has the opportunity to create a meaningful change in their lives, no matter where they start from, no matter what their childhood is or what trauma they have experienced?
Yes, I do. As I said earlier, find a passion. It could be sewing. You like to sew? You could make a career out of that. If you like to bake, you could make a career out of that. Construction, whatever your passion is, develop that passion and stay consistent. Don't waver. Do it sometime, you don't do it other times. You got to stay at it until you get it.
Yes, consistency is a key for every goal that we have. That's the
Indeed.
only way we can achieve it. That's very true. Now, how would you say you were able to shift your mindset from seeing yourself as a victim and to asking, how can I respond to this situation differently? How can I thrive? Or, this life is happening for me instead of to me. How were you able to shift that? Because the mindset is really important. If we have this negative mindset and it's like, I'm a victim and I feel sorry for myself and just have this anger towards your parents and being resentful, all those type of emotions are just going to bring you down and they're going to disempower you. So
Yes.
how were you able to shift that mindset to think otherwise?
You can't continue to sit on the pity pot. At some point, you have to get your ass up off that pot. Shift, and that's the shift. You said, I'm getting up off this shit. I'm tired of sitting on this pity pot. I'm
Yes.
getting off and I'm going to make something of myself and I'm going to prove to you guys, all who did not have faith in me, who did not encourage me, who did not empower me, I'm going to prove you wrong. I am a miracle. Trust me, I am a miracle. I feel like a hero
I think you
because,
are. Yes, definitely. I think you are a
because
miracle.
the stuff that I've experienced, few people would have experienced that and still emerge victoriously. They would have sat around and just wallow in it. I mean, they folks don't even know the half of my story, how I along the way, I developed anxiety and depression, and I'm still battling those demons, but they can't stop me.
course, of course. Do you keep in touch with any family members, or no? You've just started completely. You've kind of created your own new family with good positive people and friends.
Well, no brothers and sisters because they were, we didn't form any bond. But I have like a few cousins who are like in my age group that were around at the time. And they're like relatives. Outside of that, I don't really have any brothers and sisters, no mother. And they're all alive. Mother, father, brothers and sisters, they're all alive and watching me now from a distance and too either embarrassed or reluctant to come. That's their loss,
It
not
is
mine.
our loss. It is our loss. And as long as you know that, that's good that you're acknowledging that. And at the end of the day, I mean, you have to surround yourself with a positive committee. It doesn't matter if they're your family, but if they haven't done what a family is supposed to do, then you're doing great. You don't need that kind of negative energy and negative love. So what advice would you give to someone right now who feels like they're rock bottom, kind of like you did originally? Like imagine someone listening right now, they're living in their car, they've lost everything, or maybe they were kicked out and they just don't know what the next step in their life is.
Well, that someone, first of all, need to find a counselor. Whether or not you're able to pay, they do have counselors who can help you get up off that pity pot. Get some counseling. Find a passion that you really would like to pursue. I don't know what that passion may be, if it needs training, if it needs some kind of education, and move towards it with all you've got. Just go at it.
Mhm.
And because you want to prove to yourself and all the naysayers that I am somebody, I can do something, I can do this. Get moving, get going.
Those are great advice. So if you're out there, you're listening, you've lost your home, you're just not in a good situation, you always have a chance. You have a chance to make the right choices. A counselor, there's a lot of free clinics at different places that you can find and research that you can go out there and make that first step. And that's what happened for you. Your big break came when you were walking, right? And you saw in the window and you stepped in, and then everything kind of changed for you. Your story changed. So,
Amen.
yep,
Just get up,
get up and do it.
get going.
So, in today's episode, we have explored the transformative power of resilience and the mindset shift from victimhood to thriving. Our guest, Dr. Patricia Smith, shared her incredible journey from being abandoned as a child and living on the streets in Jamaica to becoming so successful and powerful where she can make the choices that she wants to live a nice, humble life in gratitude. Through her story, we've explored how life's toughest challenges can become powerful catalysts for growth when we embrace the belief that life happens for us, not to us. Together, we unpacked what it truly means to reclaim your power by choosing how to respond to adversity. Dr. Patricia also revealed how persistence, hope, and resilience isn't just abstract ideas, but practical tools that can help anyone heal, grow, and transform their lives no matter what happened in their past. Patricia, thank you so much for being on Female Fluence. Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Well, my book is out. I persist. It's on Amazon.
I will make sure the links will be in my show notes so that people can get a hold of you and also get your book. Thank you so much. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Female Fluence, where we rise, reflect, and remember who we are. If something from today's episode spoke to you, share it with another woman who's ready to rise too. And before you go, download your free empowerment coaching guide at femalefluence.com. It's your next step toward living with more clarity and confidence. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at _femalefluence. And if you're ready for deeper support, sign up for a free discovery call. I would love to connect with you. Remember, my friends, don't just exist. Live your life fully, bravely, and in truth. I'm Pearl Mashure, and until next time, stay true, stay powerful, and stay you.